tried to send that video.
Hello, everyone. Patriot 5, Patriot 6 here. Hello. We're here early in the afternoon. Patriot Super Gymnast has a concert tonight, and I can't miss that. Got some things to talk about. Don't know how long the show it's going to be. Bruce last night to me, I'm not saying this to be rude to Bruce. Pathetic.
Looked like it was a summer regret.
Pathetic. If things it's almost like he replayed a show from a long time ago. But anyway, let's get into the pledge and let's get into the music. And while I'm doing the music, I gotta plug my phone in because my battery's about dead here on the computer. So let's get that going. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't say,
Yeah, it's going to be fair.
looks to you and defend her today. From Florida to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, in heart to you and depend her still today. There ain't no serious. Next to you and defend. There ain't no doubt.
God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. And we have Ian and Janet. We have Patty, Crazy Lady, Sandra, Bill Woods, John Holiday. Good to see everyone here, guys. I'm not going to try to read these. They're too dark.
Phone.com? Yeah, we all get numbers from.
So I'm going to go into the kids and get them out of the way first, and we're going to have a little discussion. And I have some really good news about the kids. But first of all, is Jimmy on vacation? Ron was asking me today. He has been posting things and that. So Jimmy, I hope everything is okay. Patriot 11. As you guys have noticed over the last couple of weeks, I've talked a lot about Patriot 11, Wyatt. Um, I've talked a lot about him because I had totally lost touch with him. Grandma and me weren't talking, and that, well, Grandma and Grandpa go to Arizona for the winter, and I went through all of my messages the other day until I found her, and I sent her a really nice message and was talking about him. He is still watching. He gets excited when we talk about him, and that's good. I'm glad the kids feel this way. And it made me feel so good. And me and Grandma, we exchanged some messages, and I think we're going to stay in touch. And one of the things we found out is I've talked already about going to Patriot Super Gymnast. Um, her concert tonight. And in doing so, Grandma was telling me um, about Patriot 11. And we got talking, and one thing led to another. And he has a birthday in March. He'll be 12 years old. And I said, wow, that's pretty amazing. So I showed her this picture of me and Patriot Super Gymnast. That was just taking me and her. So she was so kind to send me a video of Patriot 11 riding his horse. That's him riding a horse right there. Grandpa's right there behind him, and you know, it's great. It really is great to get back in touch and know that he's fine and everything is going good. And then here's actually a picture of him and Grandpa. I think if he had his way, that he'd love to spend a lot more time with Grandma and Grandpa, but it's one of these things that he loves his dad and mom too. So they're supposed to be going out to visit Grandma and Grandpa in Arizona for a little bit, maybe over Christmas break. I don't know, but it's really good. But anyway, let's move on to other Wyatts. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his name. Long live his glory, and long live his story be told. And then you have Karate Kid, you know, uh, Patriot Princess, who's been getting her picture taking a lot with great grandma. What two beautiful young people. Yeah, great grandma, you're going to be like all of us. And I'm going to read about what these things, these special beds, kids, you're in for a treat today. I got a lot of information on beds. And I tell you, if people would read and believe, I think we'd get this thing going quicker. Patriot Hunter, her brother, an amazing, great little boy. Jana is so blessed to have them as her grandchildren. And I mean, think about it, and I'll talk to the adults real quickly here. Think about when you had your kids. Wasn't that the greatest day? The greatest day in my life was the day my son was born. It was so amazing because, see, my son, last name Anderson, carried on my dad's name. And boy, did we cry about it. But then when my daughter was born, nothing can touch my daughter. She is daddy's little girl. And I understand how parents feel because, see, kids, I was 48 years old the day my mom died. And to my mom, she still talked to people that day that she was there having lunch with her oldest son, Ron, and her baby boy, me. So think about it. Get in this love with your grandparents, with your parents. Forget about the computers. Forget about the other stuff. You know, Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. Your guys are growing. What? I didn't hear what you said.
I should call you baby brother.
Something about baby brother.
I should call you baby
Yeah.
brother.
No, you didn't call me that. Ron wanted to know if he should call me baby brother. He never called me that. But my mom always called me her baby boy. So anyway, then, you know, the Boogs, the four Bs, tremendous kids, and your grandpa just loves and adores you. Patriot Leona, little Leona, I'm waiting for some pictures, grandpa. You know, maybe that's what I got to do. Instead of going through the great grandma, maybe I got to go through grandma. Nah, just kidding. Mike takes good care of me. Patriot Leilani, seeing more and more pictures of her on Facebook. You know, I just don't go there a lot. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. That and that other channel. Woo. Oops, no good. But anyway, Patriot super gymnast who, as I said, has her concert tonight. She's made the volleyball team and she's doing really, really good, guys. I'm really so proud of her. Patriot, Patriot, uh, 7, little Liam. I got a message from my daughter last night, and she said, "Look what your grandson did to his room." Now you know he won the Super Bowl. I told you that many times. Well, on his wall, he hung his helmet, his jersey, and took a picture to make it look like it was his face in there. And this is what he did on his wall. For all of those that love football, you just met a real living Super Bowl champion. So, you know, when I get to the adults, I'm going to talk Super Bowl champions in a few minutes or Super Bowl. Because I have a good story I really like. Patriot Small Hank got his green belt last night. Congratulations, Small Hank, Karate Hank, whatever you want to call him. He got his green belt. He finally got it. Now he's working on a new color. I'm really so proud of that little boy because if he could ever get concentration, and what's funny is because attention, when you're in martial arts, karate, kung fu, whatever you want to call it, when the sensei is talking, you're supposed to be hands at side and paying nothing but attention. The only voice you could hear, even if other people's talking in the background, the only voice you should hear is your sensei. I always look I. But he is one of these little squirrels that's constantly, you know, and he's a kid. He's 8 years old. When my son said something to me, he's got to get his attention. And I said, you know, Brandon, what's going to happen is one of these days he's going to get it and he's going to be serious about it. And then I'm going to have to kick your rear end because you took my grandson away because he's going to turn into a little man. Let him be a kid. If his sensei don't like it, too bad. He's quitting anyway. They're bringing a new one in. Patriot Little Monkey. I'll get to see her again tonight too. She'll be at the concert, and first thing she'll do is she'll say, "Grandpa, I'm going to have to get sick and miss a day of school." She does not like 5 days of school because Grandpa doesn't get to come over and babysit her. As Ron said, who did? But see, ours was reasons, different reasons. She doesn't like it because Grandpa doesn't get to go over and babysit her. And Patriot Kira just went through her 3rd birthday, and I tell you, that kid is just, you know, maybe it's just a special feeling I have because of everything we went through with her, but grandkids are great. Kids are great, you know. And now we're less than what? Tomorrow, 1 week will be Christmas Day. 1 week from today, if we don't have the blackout, I'm going to a tavern. Now, people might say, "Oh, you don't need to do that." I go every year, been the tradition for a long time, but I go because I want to eat this guy's hamburger. He has an amazing hamburger. And before I lost all the weight, he had a deal with me. If you eat two and you can finish it, I'll give you the third one free. Well, we don't even attempt something like that now. I can't eat. I don't even think I can eat two anymore. But man, I'm telling you, the best hamburger in Illinois. Maybe best hamburger. I would say maybe the best hamburger I ever had, but my mom made amazing hamburgers. That's something me and Ron has decided to do, kids. We decided to honor our mom at every Saturday night now. We have greasy hamburgers. I'm telling you, I don't know what she did. Maybe she made the patty by putting it under her armpit and coming down. I don't know. All I know was my mom's burgers. And when I said that, Ron got a look on his face like I used to eat it. But anyway, guys, that completes the kids' version of today's show. And remember, kids, we love you. We love you with all our heart. But this show is not made for you. You can watch it though if your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians say it's okay. The music that we played a little bit ago, Proud to Be an American, we have no legal rights to it. We play it because it's kind of a theme song for us, but also because for entertainment purposes only. Robert Ford sent me a message and said, "Hello, Ralph. I just now saw that. So, hello, Robert. If you're on the show or if you watch it, and I promise you I will message you back." So that's what it be. Deb, where are we at now? Chris said that last night on his show. And I was more confused after the show than I was before the show. But it is what it is. And we have to do what we have to do. It was the same old song, but with a different feeling, you know? It was. It was the same old song and dance. Sue wouldn't shut up. Bob did his mumbling. And Bruce talked more about the two people and their products that they represent than he did about patriotism. But the gist of it is where we're at, and I don't care if Bruce says it, if Frank 26 says it, I don't care who's saying it. We're close. We're close. Now, as we all know, the hat is scheduled to speak tonight at, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. I will be at the concert. Might be 9 and 8, but I'll still probably be on the way home from the concert. If I'm on the road by then, I can maybe get it on my phone, but I'm sure we'll hear about it. Quite frankly, I love the man. I believe he's the right man for the job, but I don't put my life on hold anymore just to listen to what he's got to say. He's supposed to talk about what he's done for all of us this first year in office. Well, it shouldn't take him more than 2 minutes. Now, because the reason I say it shouldn't take more than 2 minutes is because he's done a lot, a tremendous lot, more than probably any president in the history of the world has done in a 1 year period. And it isn't even a full year. He's done it. But here's the difference. He don't want to share it. So why would he want to share everything he's done? If we're getting ready to go in to the big N and big G, if he's getting ready to release the beds, if we're getting ready to get the 800 numbers, if we're getting ready to go to the quantum financial system and everything will be gold back, why would he announce that tonight? He might say something about, well, look at the color of my hair. Do you like it? And his hair will be golden. And that's supposed to be our cue that we're going to the goldback standard. Or he might have somebody while he's on stage flick the lights off. And that'll be our cue that we're going to the blackout. I don't know where I come up with this crap, but it sounded pretty good. through it all, I still believe in him. I wouldn't want anybody else running the show. But Jeffrey and Janet, Bill Woods, Sandra, Justice Jane, 24. That sounds like you should be an attorney or a judge. Are you a judge, Justice Jane? Janet, Ian Bell's here. One voice, good to see you. Mike, who Myrna couldn't make it because she had to work. Wow. I must have been talking too much. Everything went blank. So just keep believing. And we're going to go into some things. I'm going to. Do you have the Bruce reading from last night? Okay. Well, I was asking Ron. I didn't know. I've been very busy this morning and I really haven't. Restore Republic, the one you read. Here's Bruce. This is going to be Bruce's intel. Now I'll let you guys make up your mind what you think. This is the take on it from Carpathia, who usually does a pretty good job. But boy, see, I don't know if it was that long. Probably take me longer to read it than it did for him to say it. But Bruce says we would like this before Christmas. Old news. Yesterday, the 15th, we got word that bondholders should get notifications today or tomorrow. Nothing today. So we have tomorrow for bondholders. If bondholders get emails, it would tell them how to access funds in their account. Bruce thinks we would get the notifications Wednesday or Thursday of this week from a source at Wells Fargo. Wednesday, we got a word from source in Iraq from the CBI that they would have a new Iraq rate on Wednesday. They do that every Wednesday. The theory is if it happened, will it mean we are ready to go? Bruce heard the rate will be on Forex, not sure if it was on bank screens or redemption screens. Bruce heard from another source who is a redemption center leader that we should have our notifications and exchanges either 3 or 4 days before Christmas, which brings us to this coming weekend or 2 to 3 days after Christmas, which I couldn't understand when he said that. If we should have them 3 to 4 days before Christmas, would be this weekend or early Monday. But how would it mean 2 or 3 days after? It's before Christmas, he said. It's like he was speaking, he was trying to be the hat. Bruce would not be happy about after Christmas. So is hoping for before Christmas info. For us to have a Christmas, we need to have this happen prior to Christmas, not on Christmas Eve or day. President the Hat speaks tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, year in review speech. He will talk about the accomplishments in the first 10 months of the year, talking about things in the works for the future as early as January. Bruce wishes he would talk about the USN currency. Bruce is not sure if there will be comms in President's the Hat speech. Now, when he said he's not sure if there'll be any comms in his speech, that's all that man knows how to talk. The ordinary person that don't know anything about town, I just wait. What I do is I just wait and I go to these gurus and they calm it out for me. Doge payments, when are they coming? Next year. What about External Revenue Service? What about the consumption tax that Big N calls for 15% tax on new goods and replaces all goods kinds of taxes, including income, state, and property tax. Maybe that kind of announcement from President the Hat. We hope he will give us a signal for the RV before Christmas. Bruce believes the R&R will be at the exchange and our QFS accounts, which is we've been talking about for a year. As for contract rate, IQD, the Redemption Center, that is the majority of what Bruce has to say. He wishes for some serious big N type announcement from President the Hat. Bruce heard from a source today that student debt will be forgiven. And I don't understand how, if you talk to anybody who has any knowledge, we've always talked about student debt being forgiven. Now, for the people who paid their debt off, my son come into some money and he didn't want to have the debt. He's paid all of his college debt off. He will be refunded. But before we worry about these kids who's just getting their lives going, paying off their schooling, you know what? Janet, Sandra, Mike, God, I can't see. Lady Anita, One Voice. Did anybody ever just go out and pay your debt when you was young? They didn't mind. If my debt got paid off, I paid it off. So you know what? Let's take care of the people who need taken care of. Then worry about them college kids. I got a little bit of Charlie Kirk in me here because, by goodness gracious, if they want to go to a place where you can get as much knowledge just coming and watching shows all over the internet, going to YouTube and watching videos. I'm sorry. I believe, like Charlie Kirk, that colleges is for the people who just too lazy to go out and get a job right off the bat. And I hope there's not people in here just paying college loan. It's for the individual to decide themselves. And that's what makes America great already, because we're entitled our opinions. Now, I'm not going to go into like Charlie Kirk did the way he did it, because I like living. And I don't want there to be a sniper behind Ron's TV over here. But what I'm saying is I agreed with him 100%. And I agree with him that God created man and God created women. And if you think there's any other sex, you're totally sick in the head. And I will not mention the other things because I don't believe in it. I also believe that every child needs parents. They need parents. And yes, God intended for it to be man and woman, or woman and man. God intended for the man to wear the pants and the woman to be there for him. But that's not what it is. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with 50-50 relationships. I used to not like a man and a man being together, or a woman and a woman. But if that's what they want, fine. But when you're born a man and now all this, no, not in my house. And that's the same principles that Charlie Kirk. And I'm speaking of him, folks, because I really believed in this man. And in my heart, I believe hiding. I believe hiding is something that he's good at doing. I believe hiding is something that a lot of people are good at doing, and their day will come and they'll show everyone. I 100% believe that their day will come. I have never once in my life, since that terrible day in Dallas, Texas, never one day in my life have I ever believed that President John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated. And I mentioned my mom a little bit ago, saying that she was with her baby boy and her oldest son on the day that she passed away to a cousin. She was talking to her cousin Nettie. And on that day, my mom even looked at me and said, "Have you ever changed your opinion?" I said, "On what?" And she said, "Do you still believe President Kennedy is alive?" Now, at the time, guys, I did not know about special beds. And I said, "All I'll say, Mom, is I do not believe he lost his life that day." And then, guys, when we go further and further and further, come on, look at Jackie. Look at Jackie. Jackie is like our first lady now. Absolutely drop dead. She was a lady. I mean, she had beauty that personified the whole. She was the babe. And then when they do this on this terrible day in Dallas, after that, she ends up marrying an old gizzard. I mean, come on. Who has a island that's protected that you can't get within 2 miles of it? If he's out on his yacht, you can't get within a mile of it. Yes, I believe Jackie and Jack lived a very, very long life. And until I found out about the bets, I said to my mom that day, it was in 2001 when she asked me that question. I said, "All I'll say is I don't believe he was ever assassinated, Mom." And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I said, but he was in his 40s on that day in the 60s. So we're looking at 50 some more years. He'd be pushing 100. So I don't know. But then when me and Ron decided to become Patriots, when we started getting information, and when Ron introduced me to a gentleman, Jared Rand. You guys know him? That's how we got introduced to these special beds, through Jared Rand. And I fell in love with it. And then it was like the cookie jar was opened and everything's coming out. Or you coop up a million butterflies, and all of a sudden you open the glass door and it just opens and everything comes out. And that's what I believe with these beds. And then I've never seen one personally. I've never been able to experience the experience of one personally. But when I talked to that nurse in Herscher, Illinois, and I said, "I heard you retired." She said, "For a short time." I said, "What do you mean a short time?" She said, "I was trained on something special. And when they announce them to the world, probably early next year, when they announce them to the world and they start using them, I'm going back to work." Because it's not going to be work. It's going to be saving people. It's going to be showing people how to live amazing lives. And guys, I've got a lot of information on these special beds that I'm going to share in just a few minutes. It was just nope, not yet. A lot of information. Julia wanted to know about it. And man, I went into the special beds site last night on Telegram. I went in there. We're now 33 minutes and 33 seconds into the show. I went in there and I opened up a brand new letter for her, and I used voice activation, and I just read all the things that I sent her and read. I'm going to do things. Yes. Plus what was amazing, when I just said it was 33:33, if you was in the Eastern time zone watching this, it was also 3:33 at that time. Lots of threes. Just that 7 threes. 7 is a magic number. 3 is a good number. Who knows? But I'm not going to sit here and blow hopium people's rear ends. I'm not going to sit here and say the same thing over and over and over again. But I'm going to do shows like I first started out doing. I will give you the information as Bruce spoke it. I'm going to go in and read the Restored Republic real quickly, and then I'm going to finish the show talking about the beds. Guys, I try to stay even keel, but there's something about right now. And it's not because of the hat speaking tonight, because his speeches anymore. I wish he was running for president because he used to give great speeches then. But now it's all about what he's done. I'm surprised he doesn't talk about golfing. And here's the thing, he has to talk this way because you can't give the enemy your information. But then they come out on shows and they say, the enemy's gone. We're going into this. Last night on Bruce's call, he talked about Iraq is going to announce their rate today on Wednesday. I think that's the 25th Wednesday in a row. He's told us that. The Iraq's going to be in the cassette Sunday, our Sunday, their Monday, every week. Do you feel like you could take a nap, Bill Woods? Sandra?
I didn't know Bill Woods down. Hello, Bill Woods.
Bill, Ron says hello. He didn't know you was on. But guys, we get aggravated, we get frustrated, we get annoyed. But just think, one time's all that's got to happen. And when it does, we're going to see the greatest transformation of wealth in the history. As I was reading something the other day and listening, no, it was the Restored Republic 2 days ago when I told people, you need to get this. You need to listen to this. I had one person take me up on that offer. It was Linda Scullin. One person. It only has to happen once. And it's going to. It's going to. The swamps are clean. China's cabal is gone. Our cabal is gone. They have nothing to fight with. They just closed 75 banks. And someone said, why would you close so many banks? Don't worry. You didn't lose nothing. Hold on a second. You didn't lose nothing when these 75, these was all cabal run banks. These were banks that billions upon trillions of dollars was taken out. And you know how they did the Doge, and you know how they're doing the St. Germain Trust, and all of these trillions of dollars are going to funnel back through us. But the one thing I wanted to cover about Restored Republic 2 days ago was, as the gentleman said, it's going to get to a point. You'll still work. There'll still be stores. There'll be grocery stores. But it'll get to the point you won't need money. You just walk into a store, and if you want steak, you pick up your steak, you go up, you walk out with it. Money's going to be of no value because everybody's going to have it. Yeah, you'll probably still pay, but it's not going to be okay. I was talking to Marianne last night when me and her were talking while Bruce was on. And we were talking about prices with the holidays coming up. Turkey's about the only thing you can afford because she bought a couple extra when it was 25 cents a pound at Thanksgiving. You can't afford ham. You can't afford prime rib. A lot of people like to have prime rib for Christmas. You can't afford it. So with that being said, she did say that there is one store that's got it where she lives. I think she lives in Virginia, somewhere in there. She was talking about Virginia last night. That's what I know. She's close to the state capital. But anyway, we were talking, and you just can't afford the food. Now, guys, we'll give you some good news. In Illinois, which has maybe the first, second, or third highest taxes on gas, they tax us on our taxes on gas in Illinois. And I actually got gas yesterday for $2.66 a gallon. And I felt so proud. I was so happy. I had to share this with Marianne last night. And she said, oh, I got it for $2.55. She just had to rain on my parade. She couldn't she's like my daughter-in-law. She had to one-up me. But it was in fun. There's a lot of people got a lot of numbers and stuff after your names. So anyway, I want to see a little bit what the Restored Republic had to say today, and
For some reason, Diane didn't get it on the listing part. So I couldn't send it out.
Restored Republic, the one that you read on the show today. Okay, bear with me. Restored Republic via the GCR as of December 17, 2025. Judy encourages that you listen to what she has to say, but also go out and do your own research so you can know what's right and wrong. The hat could have actually won 2020 election, could have actually won 2020 election. And anybody who knows anything knows what happened there. That he did undeniable proof that PELOSI owned it, the three-letter organization starting with a C, ending with an A, programming through the off and sleepy at Supreme Court, along with hundreds of election, they might call fraud allegations against Democrats, thousands of sealed indictments being served for mass arrests worldwide. Liberty is the right to choose. Freedom is the result of the right choice. Judy, note the below is from Judy Bidington on Telegram. Although this channel is set under my name and picture, is not my channel, so be cautious. The long-awaited revaluation RV has reached its final launch phase, with notifications and payouts expected to begin as early as this week under a secure quantum financial system, or parentheses QFS. Sovereign gold-backed currencies across 209 nations are fully activated, triggering the greatest wealth transfer in the human history. Trillions reclaimed from cabal vaults are flowing to people, fulfilling the promises of abundance and all who have endured under the old fiat oppression. Big N, Big G protocols are now in full effect, initiating widespread debt forgiveness, including mortgages, loans, credit cards, and taxes, as the IRS dissolves and common law restores true feeling. Redemption centers stand prepared for Tier 4 appointments where humanitarian projects will receive unprecedented funding to rebuild communities and heal the planet. Special beds are being deployed from secure locations worldwide, with priority access granted to severely injured children and veterans. These miraculous technologies will restore health, reverse aging, and regenerate limbs in hours, bringing physical and spiritual renewal as part of the transition to light. The storm has intensified as the White Hat Global Military Alliance moves decisively against remaining deep state strongholds. High level sources confirm that mass arrests are underway worldwide, targeting key figures in the international child T, a lot of stars N, G. We all know what that is, but I can't say it. Networks that have plagued humanity for decades. Brave operatives have rescued thousands more children from underground facility, bringing them to safety. And on a note that I heard, these children are going on these special beds, and they're not only getting better, they're getting to the point that they're saying, can we please have some ice cream? And what these kids have been through, they should get whatever they want. Intelligence indicates the emergency broadcast system, EBS activation is imminent, potentially within hours or days, as a necessary blackout approaches to shield the public during final operations. The 10 days of darkness will commence when the signal is given, allowing for the complete dismantling of cabal controlled systems. The period of temporary disruption is essential for the transition from dark to light, ensuring no interference or old order crumbles. Trust the plan, for God is guiding this righteous battle. As the sky event looms and remaining satanic structures face destruction, Restored Republic stands ready to emerge the greatest transfer of power and wealth in history. Checkmate delivered against those who sought to enslave mankind. Remain vigilant in prayer, stocked with essentials and anchored in faith. Victory assured through divine justice. Possible timing Wednesday, the 17th December 2025 at 9 p.m. President the Hat will make a major address. I look forward to seeing him. It's been a great year for our country, and in all capital letters, the best is yet to come. On Tuesday, 20th January 2026, the internet dies, phones go EBS only. I don't think we'll wait that long, so I'm not even going to read that. And then they talk about notifications, could be as early as this week or next week. Special beds powered by advanced testless technology, quantum healing frequency are being distributed. I've already read stuff. So pretty much what they've got left, I've already discussed. And special beds in over 50 secure facilities across the nation. Well, it's more than that. I don't even know why they would say that. They're actually airlifting these special beds onto buildings, hospitals, rooms that are not being used are now being set up for them under the guidance of the military, and the people in the hospital have no clue as to what is happening. I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna. Then they talk about Obi and Clatone and Soros and their foundations, what they were and how bad they were. Um, I don't really think we need to go into the rest of this. So I'm going to do something else here if I can. Bear with me, it's going to take a minute. As I said, Julie has been asking me a lot of questions. Can I show her proof? Can I get things to get not just her, but her family, her friends, and people she works with? Can I get them information that might show the people that yes, things really are going in the right direction? So last night I took the liberty that the Restored Republic from 2 days ago, I opened it up on a phone and I took the other phone and I used voice activation to write her an email, and I read everything. This parts about how bad BIDEN family is and the way people have been taking and corrupting the Ukraine, and a lot of things in there. And I read everything, and man, she almost came out of her shoes reading it. She can't wait to share it with thousands of people in her country. We also took the liberty. I was sitting around yesterday and I went in to the special beds site on Telegram, and they had a lot of great information. So I started copying it, and I opened an email for her, and the email was titled the name of the beds, because I didn't call them special beds to her, information. and I copy and I would put it. I'd copy another one, I'd put it, and this is what I got. First thing on the special beds. You search for it, they hit it, they got rich off your health, their time is up. A special bed card finally gives you back what they took from you for decades. This is the first fracture of theirs in their system. Take it now. Now, I did this not because I wanted her to go and, oh, check out the cards. Forget the cards. You don't need the cards. And I emphasize this to her. This is somebody giving you the information. I wanted to read the part. You search for it. They hit it. They got rich off of our health. But now that is all ended. Okay, next one. Heart-filled expansion powered by the special bed. Over 50% of people worldwide live with silent cardiovascular stress, restricted circulation, rising pressure, and heart forced to work harder. The heart is forced to work harder to keep the system alive. Most never notice until symptoms appear. The issue isn't just the heart muscle, it's the collapsed heart field. The electromagnetic space that governs blood flow, oxygen delivery, and vascular rhythm. This is where the special bed intervenes. Inside the special bed, the heart field is measured, stabilized, and expanded. Targeted frequency alignment and quantum field calibration restore coherence between the heart, blood, and vessels and nervous system. At the as the heart field expands, circulation reorganizes naturally. Blood flows smooth, oxygen penetrates deeper, tissues vascular, vacular, resistance drops, the heart stops fighting and starts flowing. It's restoration through coherence. The special bed doesn't push the heart, it gives it back its full operating space. When the heart field expands, the entire body follows. Another one, special bed aura, spine aligner, model X/9 prime. Everyone thinks back pain, bad posture, weak balance, and nerve fatigue are normal. They are not. They're signs that the central energy column, your spine and nervous system, has collapsed into low frequency dysfunction. When that when the column is disordered, nothing in the body works the way it should. Signals slow, muscles misfire, organs disconnect, and energy drains out of like a leak. That's exactly where the AX/9 prime steps in. Inside the special beds, the systems map your spine and neutral pathways in real time, down to the micro signal. Then it begins restoration. Misaligned vertebrae are corrected through harmonic renaissance. Neutral pathways are reactivated with high frequency pulses. Blocked energy channels reopen instantly. Coordination and balance recalibrate to perfect symmetry. It builds your entire signal highway from brain to base. When you step out, posture rises, movement stabilizes, awareness sharpens, and energy flows returns like someone switched on second nervous. Another technology, reverse aging. What really happens inside a special bed? Aging isn't a slow fade, it's a biological malfunction / corrupted signals, broken code cells running on glitch mode. Wrinkles, question mark, data loss, brain fog, question mark, signal interference, weak organs, question mark, crashed operating systems. But everything changes the moment you lie inside the special bed. Quantum fields sweep through your body like a system wide reboot. Cell membranes unlock, DNA repairs kits in instantly. Micro, I don't know, mitochondria fires like they're 20 years younger. Inflammation shuts off if someone pulled the plug. And then real phenomena hits. Your cells revert to their original frequency, the blueprint you have had before aging ever began. Inside the special beds, you're not slowing aging, you're erasing it from the code. Here's one more hyper region window, the 7-second miracle your body was not supposed to access. Your body has a hidden mode, a tiny biological window where regeneration accelerates. Most people never enter it. Stress blocks it, trauma shuts it down, aging buries it completely. But after a special bed upgrade, the window reappears. In those 7 seconds, the body does what modern medicine calls impossible. Damaged tissues reconnect, inflammation collapses, cellular decay reverses, dormant DNA wakes up, organs shift back towards original function. A moment where the biology stops acting human and starts acting limitless. The hyper Regan window was always inside you. Special beds just remove the lock. Have you ever felt your body trying to repair itself faster than normal? That was the window opening for a moment. The regeneration loop. The special beds session ended. The chamber powered down, the regeneration didn't. What followed surprised even the system. Hours after leaving the special bed, the body kept improving. Days later, inflammation continued to drop. In some cases, regeneration signals remained active for weeks. This wasn't chance, it was residual activation. The special bed doesn't just repair tissues during the session. It reprograms the body, repair loops, pushing cells back into self sustaining regeneration states that continues long after the chamber shut down. This wasn't a malfunction. It was the special bed doing more than it was asked to do. If your body kept healing after the machine stopped, wouldn't you want to try it? That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I hope everybody's enjoying a day. Uh, as of right now, I have plans for Friday night. I will let everybody know early Friday if I'm going to do them plans or we're going to do the show at 7. We may do another afternoon show. And then if I decide not to go, but I am supposed to be someplace Friday night. It's that time of year where things happen. And I hope you guys can bear with me. I want to thank everybody who came to the show and let people know who maybe didn't that it will be posted and they can watch it. For those who was sent the show by Ron, please feel free to share with as many people as you want. I'm not one that's going to sit here and try to blow smoke up where you sit. That's never been me. I'm not going to say here, and tell you when it's going to happen because I don't know. I'm going to tell you what I feel in my heart. And in my heart, I feel, I did say heart, didn't I? Because it sounded like I said the tutor word. But anyway, in my heart, I feel, yes, I'm not blowing smoke. I feel we're closer than we've ever been. I feel that tonight, maybe we're not going to hear from the president what we want to hear, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Do I think it's going to happen by Christmas? I hope so. But I definitely think it's going to happen very soon. I think because of the darkness days, they're not going to want to interrupt Christmas. I don't see them actually coming out and doing it this week. Maybe the revaluation, maybe people getting some money. But we were promised, and this is the one thing, if you don't get nothing out of today's show, but this, we were promised by the president, the man who we all love, the man who's going to speak tonight. We was promised that it would be a great Christmas, an amazing Christmas. And he's done nothing for us to be that. People can't have an amazing Christmas if they're living on the street. Even if I don't get any money at all, you get the people off the street and in a place where they can enjoy Christmas, where they can not sleep in the cold. You do that, and it's a great Christmas for me. It doesn't always have to be about me. It doesn't have to be about Ron. It doesn't have to be about Janet. But the people who really need it, that's what we need to take care of. The animals get in a shelter where they've fed. The children are found from underground. That's a great Christmas. And until then, what he says tonight is incoherent unless he does some of these things. Money is just part of the equation, but saving the people, saving the animals, and saving the children is the most important part. Have a great evening. We'll be on sometime Friday, just not 100% sure yet when. We love you all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And let's have a great day. And let's keep praying, keep the vibrations up. Talk to you soon. Love you all. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6.